No contact isn't always possible, so you control the access.
Hey, welcome to another installment of the Trauma Bond Exit Protocol. Bite-sized chunks to get you through this craziness. The last video blocked them everywhere. Oh my God, I loved it. I thought it was so great. But I started thinking, I was like, that doesn't work for everybody. I mean, it's good advice. No contact actually is the greatest advice ever. But what if that doesn't fit your situation, your specific situation? Well, let me start by clearing something up right now, right this moment. Like I said, no contact is powerful. It is a very powerful tool. But, and this is a huge but, it's not always possible. Some of you share children. Some of you share business ventures. Some of you share property. And if that is your situation, blocking them everywhere might not be an option. So what do? Plain and simple. You control the access. Think about that. You control the access. Because here is the mistake people make. They think if they can't block the person, that they are stuck. No, you are not stuck. You, my good friend, you just need structure. Listen to me very clearly, okay? When you cannot eliminate contact, you regulate it. Yes, you regulate it. And what does that mean? That means no spontaneous calls, no emotional conversations, no reacting in real time. You move everything into systems. And what do those systems look like? Email, parenting apps, written documentation, my favorite, written documentation, scheduled communication. Because I'm going to tell you something, if you haven't figured it out yet, chaos thrives in immediacy. And narcissistic personalities they freaking love emotional access. So what you need to do is you need to remove the emotional access and replace it with logistical access. Logistics. And don't get this twisted. This is not about being cold. It's about being controlled. This is not a relationship anymore. Let me repeat that. This is not a relationship anymore. It is a transaction. And when you shift when you make that shift mentally, everything changes.
Remove emotion, replace it with protocol.
So oftentimes, and this is why this section is so very important, oftentimes when dealing with the other narcissistic parent, they will actually use the child, they will weaponize the child as their last ditch effort to get back to you, and nothing can be more frustrating. So this part actually comes from personal experience, and I had to get it right, okay? Because at the end of the day, unlike the narcissist, more than likely your children are the most important things in your life. So let's get started right about nowish. And the way we're going to get started is we're going to talk about the children. Because this is where it gets emotional. Everybody loves to say co-parent peacefully. And you know what? That's actually beautiful. That's beautiful when both adults are emotionally healthy. But if you're dealing with manipulation, gaslighting, and just pure and utter chaos, you don't co-parent. What you're doing is you parallel parent. There is actually a difference. See, co-parenting requires cooperation. Parallel parenting, that requires boundaries. Here's a couple of ground rules. You don't debate. You don't explain. You don't defend. You exchange information, and that's it. That's it. No more. No more. We can talk about school updates. We can talk about schedule changes. We can talk about medical info. But you know what? Nothing else. Nada. Okay? Definitely no personal updates. Definitely no emotional processing. Definitely, most definitely, no, let's talk about us. The relationship is over. The parenting structure remains. And the cleaner that you keep it, the less, let me say this, the less fuel they have. And here's the total urban truth. Your children don't need you to win arguments. They need you to be stable. They need you regulated. They need you not spiraling every time your phone lights up. So you need to build systems that protect your nervous system. Schedule check-ins, limited response windows, short, and I'm talking about short, clear communication, and no sarcasm. Take your ego out of it. No emotional language. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you stay neutral, you starve the chaos.
Calm is power. Structure is protection.
So now let's talk about business. You know what I'm talking about. Those joint ventures, shared investments, real estate. This is where discipline matters the most. Because money triggers ego. And ego triggers games. So you need to shift the dynamic completely. How do you do that? What does that look like? Well, here you go. All communication in writing. No verbal agreements. No side conversations. And definitely no late night, can we talk? If it's not documented, it did not happen. If it's not scheduled, it's not necessary. And here's the important part. Oh my goodness. If they try to bait you, you don't engage, you actually redirect. By redirect, I mean they're trying to bait you. So these are a couple of responses. Well, you know what? This needs to be in writing. That's outside the scope of our agreement. You know what? I'm available during business hours. That's it. That is it. And you know what? Here is the truth. I know there's a lot of truth in this, but it's really the truth. You are not trying to win. You're just trying to exit with dignity. You, my good friend, are not trying to prove anything. You are trying to protect your future. Because when you share children or business or ventures, the bond does not break emotionally first. It breaks structurally. You actually build distance through systems. You build peace through protocol. You build strength. You build strength through repetition. And over time, the emotional charge fades. Not because they changed, but because you did. Let me leave you with this. This is just up there. I got to get this out. When you can't block them, you don't panic. You don't spiral. You don't say, I guess that I'm stuck. This is what you do. Say to yourself, access is now controlled. And control is power. Not loud power. Not ego power. Discipline power. This isn't revenge. This is regulation. This isn't hate. This is structure. And as I said many a time, structure breaks trauma bonds. With that being said, you know what I need you to do, right? Stay powerful. Love you guys.
You don't need distance, you need discipline. Stay powerful.